working people using technology to markets and to products. I am very happy to join you this morning to witness this fascinating enterprise of great promise that represents the transformational intersection of critical pillars of our plan. To begin with, Twiga Foods model is truly bottom-up, uniting literal mama mbogas with actors along the supply chain all the way to large corporate concerns in the quest for more incomes, greater efficiency, and increased productivity. I am pleased to note that at the heart of this visionary enterprise is the objective of establishing and maintaining an efficient retail network, which is a priority of our strategy for rapid socio-economic transformation and a focus of the Vision 2030. It is our intention to lead the transformation of our retail sector from the traditional shopfront-based system to a modern e-commerce system which supports a competitive trade-based economy. We recognize that food accounts for up to 54% of household expenditure in Kenya, and that agriculture has the highest employment multiplier effect. Due to the strong forward and backward linkages with other sectors, agricultural growth creates more jobs than any other industry. We also realize that agricultural productivity has key pillars of our transformational agenda, that is manufacturing and the micro and small enterprise, strongly feature actors in the agricultural value chain. I note that efficient aggregation, rapid transformation, and effective network of preservation and storage facilities are indispensable for sophisticated agro-industrial production and export manufacturing. Our plan also outlines strategies to optimize the country's heavy investment in ICT infrastructure, which has led to the laying of 6 submarine fiber optic cables and 9,000 kilometers of terrestrial fiber optic cable connectivity, connecting virtually all county headquarters. Mobile broadband coverage now stands at 96%. We have pledged to invest another Kenya shillings 40 billion in the digital superhighway to facilitate universal broadband connectivity across Kenya by constructing an additional 100,000 kilometers of mainly last-mile fiber optic networks across the country. The superhighway, and I had a robust conversation this morning about it, will catalyze the transformation of agriculture, MSME sectors, as well as health and fintech. In Twiga Group, we witness a pioneer in harnessing the convergence of transformative sectors through imaginative deployment of technology. Through it, Twiga receives produce from small-scale growers and converts it to a marketable and less perishable form. As a result, its outlet system is able to secure higher earnings, raising the incomes of growers and also reducing poverty and inequality. Using its mobile app, Soko Yetu, Twiga congregates over 140 hustlers, kiosk operators, shopkeepers, mama mbogas, and many other intermediaries across the country. Technology enables Twiga to process many orders, handling over 2 million kilograms daily and ensuring same day or next day delivery. This system, therefore, demonstrates the possibility of organizing farmers throughout the country, increasing produce volumes, and significantly upgrading the supply chains, both from the farm gate to industries and from industries to markets. This way, livelihoods across the smallholder agriculture and MSME sectors will improve with the increase of incomes at the bottom of our economic pyramid. As you know, this vision lies at the heart of our commitment, and we are determined to deliver on it. The capacity I have witnessed this morning here to handle over 6,000 tons of food and groceries, including more than 1 million bananas daily, demonstrate the feasibility of what ambitious promise can produce. Twiga is an exemplary enterprise and a pioneering investment. Its setting up in the special economic zone locates it in an advantageous position to access and satisfy local and regional markets throughout East Africa and Central Africa. I just want to inform Peter and all the other players in this space that, as the Minister Moses has said, last week I was in the DRC and we agreed with President Tshisekedi that they will provide space for us to set up warehouses in Lubumbashi, in Kinshasa, in Goma, and other 2 towns as part of the East Africa integration and part of the East Africa trading framework. We are encouraged by the possibilities demonstrated by Twiga's model, especially in the potential to complement government drought mitigation efforts by resolving supply chain and distribution constraints that exacerbate food shortages during drought. Our vision for agriculture-led growth entails establishing at least 1 produce consolidation and distribution center in every county. As Minister said, we will come here with our governors so that they can demonstrably be able to see what an aggregation center can do for a country and what it can do for a county. In turning each county to a produce aggregator, we desire to create opportunities for small, independent retailers to participate in local and international trade by facilitating better market access. You will be encouraged to understand that the market preferences we negotiated under the tripartite and Africa Continental Trade Area frameworks will confer a distinct competitive edge to the products you process over their imported equivalents. And again, we will be having a conversation today about the integration of our region, resolving conflict challenges in our region so that we can have the possibility of driving trade, especially intra-Africa trade, from the paltry 13–15% at the moment to 60–70%, because therein lies the greatest opportunity for our trade. I was very pleased when Peter, when he was showing us around, he said that initially they thought they were going to work on the export market, but they discovered that the local market has a greater opportunity, and they have been working on the local market. And slowly, once we cover the local market, then, Peter, you can have the opportunity to go for your dream, which is the export market, and we are going to work with you all the way. I also encourage you to venture and establish presence, as I have said, in EAC and eventually in our continent, because already we have set the parameters and we have created the trade infrastructure through the EAC framework, through the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, through the tripartite agreement, both in EAC, in COMESA, and in SADC, the infrastructure to facilitate trade in our region is in place. It is now for investors like Peter and all the others to take advantage of the policy framework and the trade frameworks that exist to leverage on ensuring that you grow your enterprises and you support our farmers to be able to access better incomes as we ensure that our continent is prosperous. I assure you of the government of Kenya's support. I have asked Mr. Kuria, our cabinet secretary, to grow Kenya's market share for manufactured goods in the region and in the continent, even as we focus in the global market. Our robust support for the significant improvement of food security ultimately complements the efforts of enterprises like Twiga, and the spectrum of interventions include provision of adequate network of storage facilities, the enhancement of commodity supply systems through warehouse receipting system, and the establishment of the Kenya Commodity Exchange in due time. Improving financial inclusion at the bottom by introducing easily accessible and affordable credit through the Hustler Fund and other funds, as well as the intentional de-risking of agriculture to attract younger farmers, are some of the interventions we are going to propose in the medium term. Let me confirm to Peter and Twiga that the 300 million shillings you lend to your 140 suppliers and customers across Kenya, we are going to make that amount of money available to you so that they can borrow at lower interest rates and hopefully increase their earnings. That 300 million shillings, CS Chelugui, make sure that the customers of Twiga have access to the Hustler Fund, and instead of them borrowing at 1% per day, they should be able to borrow at 8% per year. Furthermore, we are committed to addressing unfavorable aspects of the regulatory environment, high cost of energy, and to rebooting the fertilizer supply chain. We shall engage the Council of Governors, as I have said, to rationalize the multiplicity of inter-county regulatory regimes, and that fertilizer prices and other commodities and other inputs make commercial sense to all our small-scale farmers. Additionally, I have directed the Ministry for Trade and Investment to facilitate your effective and meaningful participation under the Special Economic Zones Act so that we can eliminate the challenges that continue to exist in making it easy for enterprises to do business in our Special Economic Zone. Otherwise, they will have no meaning. So, Minister, make sure players in the industry, people like the Tatu City community, bring their ideas, bring their suggestions. We can carry them on board so that we can have a regulatory framework that favors growth of enterprise, both for local consumption of goods that are processed and for our international market as well. This will promote, as I have said, robust participation and effective representation in policy making to create a better and a much more conducive business environment. We are engaging holders of capital, like pensions and venture capital funds, with a view to putting together a framework for them to participate in emerging opportunities by investing in startups like Twiga in order to create jobs and propel Kenyan enterprises to the next level